crumbling walls of Constantinople, on the eve of its fall in 1453, a young Byzantine scribe named Elias stumbled upon a forbidden scroll hidden in the depths of the Hagia Sophia. It wasn't just any parchment. It was a map etched with celestial alignments, whispering of a lost Templar treasure from the Crusades, buried beneath the waves of the Bosphorus. But as Ottoman cannons thundered in the distance, Elias made a vow. He would carry this secret across oceans to a new world dawning in the West, where empires rose from wilderness and love could rewrite destinies. Little did he know, this map would ignite a romance that spanned continents, toppled kings, and reshaped history itself. Elias Petrovich was born in 1430 in the bustling port city of Constantinople, the jewel of the Byzantine Empire, which had stood as a bastion of Christendom for over 1,000 years. The son of a humble icon painter and a Greek seamstress, Elias grew up amid the marble halls of the Great Palace, where emperors once dined with saints. By 1453, at the age of 23, he was a scribe in the imperial scriptorium, copying ancient texts by the flickering light of beeswax candles. The air was thick with incense and fear. Sultan Mehmed II, the 21-year-old conqueror known as the Conqueror, had besieged the city with 80,000 Ottoman troops, their massive bronze cannons, engineered by the Hungarian defector Orban, pounding the Theodosian walls day and night. Historical records from the era, including the eyewitness accounts of Nicolò Barbaro, a Venetian surgeon, describe the siege's brutality. 72 days of relentless bombardment, Greek fire hurled from the walls, and Janissary shock troops swarming the breaches. On May 29, 1453, the city fell. Elias watched from a tower as Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos, clad in golden armor, charged into the fray and vanished into the melee, his last words reportedly a defiant cry. "The city is fallen, but I remain." In the chaos, Elias fled to the Hagia Sophia, where Patriarch Gennadius Scholarios was hastily consecrating the church before the Turks converted it into a mosque. Amid the panicked crowds, nobles, monks, and refugees clutching relics, Elias pried open a loose flagstone in the crypt, guided by rumors from his grandfather, a veteran of the Fourth Crusade. There, wrapped in oilcloth, lay the scroll, a 12th century Templar vellum, smuggled from Accra during the Crusader collapse in 1291. It depicted not gold, but a celestial key, coordinates aligned with the stars, pointing to a vault in the New World, laden with Byzantine relics, Visigothic treasures looted during the sack of Rome in 410 AD, and scrolls detailing alchemical secrets that could forge unbreakable steel. Elias memorized the map's riddles, Latin verses intertwined with Greek astronomy, referencing Ptolemy's Almagest and the precession of equinoxes, then burned the scroll as Ottoman torches lit the night. Disguised as a Frankish merchant, he bartered passage on a Genoese galley captained by a grizzled veteran named Luca da Verrazzano, ancestor of the famed explorer. They slipped through the Golden Horn under cover of fog, dodging Mehmet's fleet of 400 ships. Elias arrived in Genoa in July 1453, a refugee in a city-state thriving on spice trade and banking, whose doges funding voyages to outflank the Ottoman blockade of silk routes. But exile bred longing. Elias dreamed of a woman he'd glimpsed during the siege, Sophia Lascarina, a 20-year-old noblewoman from the Fanar district, daughter of a Paleologan courtier. Her raven hair and emerald eyes had caught him in the scriptorium months earlier, as she delivered silks for illumination. In stolen moments, they'd whispered of Homer and forbidden kisses behind tapestries. When the walls fell, Sophia vanished, rumor said captured, ransomed, or dead. Elias clutched a locket with her miniature portrait, vowing to find her or die trying. Genoa in 1453 was a hive of Renaissance ambition. Christopher Columbus's father, Dominicus, a wool weaver, lived nearby, and the city's Banco di San Giorgio controlled European finance, lending to kings and popes. Elias, fluent in Latin, Greek, and emerging cartography, found work copying maps for the cartographer Giovanni Liardo. Here he learned of Portuguese ventures. Prince Henry the Navigator's school at Sagres had mapped Africa's coast since 1415, seeking Prester John's mythical kingdom to flank Islam. In 1454, Elias decoded the Templar riddles fully. The celestial key aligned with the star Arcturus on the summer solstice, projecting lines to a latitude of 41 north, far west of Europe, across an ocean sea unknown to ancients. It hinted at Viking echoes, Leif Erikson's Vinland, recorded in the saga of the Greenlanders around 1000 AD, and Templar voyages post-1307 dissolution, when fleeing knights allegedly sailed with the Holy Grail. The treasure? Artifacts proving Christ's bloodline, Gnostic Gospels, Inca gold bowled from phantom contacts, and formulas for Greek fire's successor, thermitic incendiaries predating modern chemistry. Word spread. Elias attracted the eye of Lorenzo de' Medici's agent in Florence, who smuggled him south in 1456 amid Pazzi plots. Florence buzzed with humanism. Botticelli painted Primavera, Ficino translated Plato. Elias lectured at the Platonic Academy on Ptolemaic geography, whispering of Western lands to a young navigator, Cristoforo Colombo, who dined at Medici tables. Columbus, born 1451 in Genoa, scribbled notes. Elias speaks of islands beyond the Azores, rich as Capango. But fate twisted in 1458. A papal envoy from Nicholas V, author of doomed verses, sanctioning enslavement of non-Christians, offered Elias a ship, the Santa Maria II, funded to pro the map. Elias refused until a bombshell. Sophia lived. Ransomed by Venetian traders, she was in Lisbon, betrothed to Prince Henry's fourier, a Portuguese mariner named Vasco da Gama's uncle. Elias sailed west via Madeira, landing in Lisbon in 1459, heart pounding like siege drums.
Bustling Portugal's entrepot was the epicenter of the Age of Discovery. Henry the Navigator's 1415 conquest of Ceuta had opened African gold and slaves. By 1460, the Guinea trade brought 1,000 tons of gold yearly. Elias, posing as a Venetian scholar, infiltrated the Casa de Guinée, where maps showed Cape Bojador rounded in 1434. He found Sophia at a feast honoring the 1459 wedding of Juan II's sister. Now 26, she was stunning, clad in damask, her eyes shadowed by captivity's scars. Betrothed to Diego de Almeida, a dour knight, she lit up seeing Elias. "The scribe with stars in his eyes," she whispered, slipping him a note amid dancers twirling to vihuelas. Their reunion ignited like black powder. In moonlit gardens overlooking the Tagus, they confessed love's unspoken. Sophia revealed her ordeal, captured May 29, 1453, paraded before Mehmed, who spared noblewomen per Islamic custom, ransomed for 5,000 ducats by Doge Foscari. "I dreamed of you amid chains," she said. Elias unveiled the map. Together they plotted, steal a caravel, sail west, claim the treasure to fund a new Byzantium in exile. Passion bloomed dangerously. One stormy night in Henry's Sagres fortress, where astrolabes charted stars, they consummated their love in a tower room overlooking Atlantic swells. Her touch was fire. His whispers of constellations mapped her body. "We are wanderers like Odysseus," he murmured, as waves crashed like Ottoman cannons. Historical parallels abounded. Their affair echoed Abelard and Heloise's forbidden 12th century romance, blending intellect and ecstasy. But treachery loomed. Diego discovered clues, alerting the Inquisition, fresh from 1460 anti-Jewish pogroms. In 1460, Elias and Sophia fled on the Nossa Senhora de Graça, a 100-ton caravel with 40 crew, provisioned for the unknown. Diego pursued with royal warships. Sailing west in 1460 predated Columbus by 30 years, echoing unrecorded voyages like the 1398 Zen expedition or Bristol fishermen's codbanks. They hugged Azores currents, battling equatorial calms where doldrums trapped ships for weeks, real peril documented in the Journal of the First Voyage of Columbus, 1492. Storms ravaged them, a 40-day gale off Bermuda's future site, rigging shredded, scurvy gnawing crews, limes saved them per Portuguese lore. Sophia proved heroine, stitching sails, navigating by quadrant. Elias recited Homer to quell mutinies, revealing map secrets. Landfall at 41 degrees north, a great bay, future Chesapeake. On day 87, mirages of Vinland fjords haunted them. Diego's fleet closed in during a hurricane. In desperate broadsides, cannons loaded with bar shot, Elias's ship rammed Diego's flagship, sinking it. Diego drowned, cursing Sophia as a Byzantine whore. Freedom, bittersweet. Land ho! November 1460, they struck Delaware Bay, pioneering English colonies by 144 years. Natives, Lenape in longhouses, traded maize for Venetian glass. Elias charted the voyage, noting flora predating Linnaeus, sassafras for scurvy, tobacco's divine herb. They trekked inland to the map's crux, a Powhatan village near future Jamestown, Virginia. Chief Wahunsenacah, father of Pocahontas, born some 1596, welcomed them warily. Europeans were ghosts here, post-Croatoan vanishings. The celestial alignment on summer solstice 1461 opened a cave beneath a falls, the Templar Vault. Inside, 2 tons Visigothic gold from Alaric's 410 Rome sack, Gnostic codices echoing Nag Hammadi, 1945 discovery, Byzantine icons stolen in 1204 Fourth Crusade, and alchemical ingots yielding 18th century steel alloys. Elias and Sophia claimed it, founding Nova Byzantium, a palisaded haven. Love deepened. Amid wildflowers, they wed under Powhatan rites, blending Orthodox chants with native drums. She bore a son, Alexios, in 1462. Daughters followed. Their nights were symphonies, passion tempered by frontier hardships, her curves illuminated by hearthfire, his hands tracing scars like constellations. Word spread via native traders to Norse Greenland holdouts, collapsing 1450 from climate shifts, Little Ice Age onset. Elias sent couriers. One reached Bristol 1465, seeding Cabot's 1497 voyage. Another Columbus via Medici spies, fueling his 1492 pitch. By 1470, Nova Byzantium thrived, 500 souls, iron forges from alchemical secrets, hybrid crops boosting yields 30%. Sophia schooled children in Greek. Elias mapped the Appalachians, noting coal veins powering future industry. Spain loomed. Columbus's 1492 success, 3 ships, Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria, echoed Elias's charts, plagiarized via Genoese networks. Hernán Cortés's Mexico conquest, 1519, funded by similar gold quests. Conquistadors probed Chesapeake 1520s. Elias repelled them with Greek fire derivatives, incendiaries scorching galleons. Henry VII's John Cabot landed 1497 at Nova Byzantium's doorstep, allying with Elias. Cabot's Matthew carried letters to London, a Christian enclave, Byzantine in tongue, rich as Ophir. This birthed Roanoke 1585 and Jamestown 1607, Virginia's tobacco empire yielding £50,000 yearly by 1620. Romance endured trials. Sophia miscarried during 1575 epidemics, smallpox from traders. Elias nursed her through fevered delirium, their bond unbreakable. In 1480, aged 50, they recoupled passionately under auroras, witnessed by natives as gods, conceiving a final child. Europe erupted. Luther's 1517 Theses splintered Christendom. Henry VIII's 1534 Act of Supremacy birthed Anglicanism. Elias, Protestant sympathizer, hosted English Puritans fleeing 1550s persecutions, proto-pilgrims arriving 1609 on sea venture. Spanish Armada 1588 fallout reached shores, shipwrecks yielded cannons. Elias's forges armed colonists, his steel revolutionized muskets, predating Bessemer's 1856 process. Sophia, now silver-haired matriarch, mentored Pocahontas, met 1607 via Jamestown's John Smith, who chronicled Elias's legends as White Medicine Man. Their love story inspired Powhatan lore, star-crossed Europeans whose kisses summoned rains. Climax brewed 1607, Jamestown's starving time 1609 to 10, 80% mortality. Elias supplied grain, but betrayal struck. Powhatan uprising 1622 killed 347. Elias, 77, led counterforged with alchemical fire, saving the colony. Elias died 1625, aged 95, buried with Sophia, d. 1623-90. Their vault fueled American steel. Codices informed founding fathers. Jefferson owned Gnostic texts. Nova Byzantium evolved into Alexandria, Virginia, named for Alexios. Descendants fought Revolution 1776, Elias's steel armed minutemen at Yorktown. Washington, visiting 1780s, toasted the Byzantine seed of liberty. The map? Rediscovered 1804 by Lewis and Clark, guiding manifest destiny. Today, whispers persist. Monticello vaults hide remnants. Their love? History's greatest romance. Byzantine scribe and noble exile, bridging old and new worlds. From Constantinople's fall to America's rise, Elias and Sophia proved, in treasure's gleam and lover's embrace, destinies entwine forever.